Um, in the previous video, we have discussed about the location, about the hormone and the location of the hormones. This is a short table for you to give a quick overview about the gland, like pituitary gland, and location is at the base of the brain, and what hormone produces the various hormones. Some are growth hormones, ADH, which you will study about this hormone in the chapter excretion in your upcoming term. Deals with the osmoregulatory hormone, mean deals with the balancing of the water, and it's known as the master gland because it controls the other glands as well. Another hormone is thyroid gland. It's present in your neck region. It produces thyroxine. It regulates your metabolism. Pancreas, it's present at the abdominal area near the stomach. It produces a hormone known as insulin. There's one more hormone known as glucagon. We will discuss this about in our lesson today. And it regulates the blood glucose level. Also, it produces some digestive enzymes. Like in the previous video, I told you about that pancreas is not only an endocrine gland, it is also an exocrine gland. Right? It means it has ducts for the enzymes, and when it is releasing the insulin, it releases directly into the blood. That's why it is an endocrine because it doesn't have a duct. It's a ductless. Now, another gland known as adrenal gland, another important gland which you will study in this chapter, top of the kidney, and it produces a hormone known as adrenaline, and its function is to prepare your body for fight or flight condition in a response towards your stress. Stress means it can be stimuli. It's a stimuli which is bringing a change in your body, not a stress as in a burdenizing your body, bringing change in your body, is alarming your body, is warning your body. Your body is in a condition whether you are going to fight or you will run away. That's the flight. In the male, they have testes present in the location known as scrotum, the pouch-like structure present in the male reproductive organ, and it produces a hormone known as testosterone, and it's a male sex hormone, and it helps or is responsible for the development of male secondary sexual characteristics and the sperm. Male secondary sexual characteristic, like when you reach towards your puberty age, that's your teenage, you start to have your mustache, or you have start to have facial hair, your voice starts to become deepening, your chest starts to become broaden, right? Your muscle mass starts to increase, and also a function of the testosterone is it helps in the production of sperms. Now, in the female, they have the gland known as ovaries. It is present in the pelvic cavity. Pelvic cavity means the ovaries are present in your towards your hip region. That's known as pelvic cavity. Produces two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. They are the female sex hormones, and they are responsible for giving the female secondary sexual characteristics like uh, uh, the voice starts to pitch up. I mean, it becomes shrill, the voice changes, they start to have the memory glands, and they start to have they would start a phenomena known as menstrual cycle. It also deals with the menstrual cycle. These are the certain phenomena and the processes which you will study in your upcoming grade. All right. Okay. Now, these are the certain glands and the overview of it. A quick recap of the pituitary gland. It's a gland which is present at the base of the hypothalamus, and it's a master gland. It releases several hormones like growth hormone. FSH deals with the reproduction. It helps in maturing of those sperms and the egg which are present in the testes and the ovaries. LH, similar thing. Uh, Helps in the menstrual cycle, and ADH, which helps in the balancing of the water. Okay. Thyroid gland helps in the production of thyroxine, and it deals with the metabolic rate, helps in the body growth rate and the development of it. Okay. Uh, Now, coming to the major part that is known as pancreas, it is both exocrine and endocrine. This is how the pancreas looks like. It's a leaf-like structure. It's exocrine because it releases the digestive enzymes. Which digestive enzyme releases lipase? It releases trypsin. Trypsin acts on proteins. It's a protease enzyme. Lipase acts on lipids into fatty acid glycerol, and then it has also pancreatic amylase, which acts on the starch and convert it to maltose. Remember, you have two amylase in the body, right? One is the salivary amylase in the mouth, and another is the pancreatic amylase in your pancreas. And both have a different pH as well. Pancreatic amylase work at pH 8, and salivary amylase work at the pH 7. Okay, now our main focus is how it is acting as endocrine gland. There are some cells in the pancreas known as aisles of Langerhans, also known as beta cells. It produces two hormones, insulin and glucagon. Insulin and glucagon. Now, how do they work? You know, in my body, everything is at a set point. It also goes for the blood glucose concentration. You know, if the blood glucose concentration increases in my body, it's going to damage my cells. Glucose is acting as a solute. More solute is going to affect my osmosis of the cells. My cells will start to shrink and start to get damaged, right? I need to maintain that solute part, that is the glucose part. It has a uh, it has a specific range as well, which we will study in our next slide. So, two hormones, insulin and glucagon, connecting with the chapter digestion. After the assimilation, when the cells have utilized the glucose for the respiration, what will happen to the extra glucose? The extra glucose won't be wasted. My body will not waste it because a very important component of my body functioning. My body is going to store that excess glucose. Here comes the insulin. When the excess glucose is being detected, this pancreas is the target organ. It will release. So how I'm going to now fix it, how I'm going to respond toward the excess glucose. The pancreas will release a hormone known as insulin, and it will convert the excess glucose into glycogen, the stored form of glucose, the complex form of glucose. Glucose is monosaccharide, the simplest form is converted into the complex form of the glucose or a carbohydrate known as glycogen. And that glycogen will be stored in the muscles and liver. The glycogen is insoluble form, okay? It can be easily stored. It will be stored in the muscles and the liver. And whenever you require that glucose, this glycogen will be converted back to the glucose and give you the energy. So that the two functions of the insulin, number one, stimulate the uptake of glucose from the blood into the cell and stimulate the cells of liver and muscles to convert glucose into glycogen. Means insulin is released by the pancreas, but the location of the conversion of this process from glucose to glycogen is in liver. All right, in liver. So liver is the area where it is being converted and stored. But who is actually helping in conversion? Insulin. So you are aware with the term diabetes as well. So those who have diabetic, they deal with this situation of insulin. Some of them are taking the in shots of insulin, taking the tablets of the insulin, right? Okay. This first part stimulate the uptake of the glucose. Insulin not only do the conversion, but it also allows the cell to receive the glucose as well. This is one of the symptom of the diabetes. Those who suffer from the diabetes, they are very fond of eating sweets, right? Why? They are fond of it. They have excess glucose. They have more glucose than a normal healthy person. Then still they want more sweets. Still they want more sugar. The reason is, if when the insulin is damaged or it's not working properly, the cells cannot utilize the glucose as well. The glucose is like a key. Insulin is like a key. Insulin will open the cells up so the glucose is being transferred from blood into the cells. So when insulin is not present, how the glucose will enter the cell? So that's why the cells do not get the glucose in the absence or in the impairment of the insulin. All right. So these are the two functions. Another hormone produced by the pancreas known as glucagon. Glucagon is opposite of the insulin. If insulin is converting the glucose into the glycogen, the glucagon is converting glycogen back to the glucose. When your glucose level is lowering, or when you're utilizing, especially when you're exercising, or when you are playing, or when you are fasting, then this glycogen is converted back into the glucose, and it will provide energy to the it will send this glucose to the cells, and cell will utilize in the respiration and produce the energy. All right. So insulin and glucagon are opposite of each other. These two have a very major important role in the adrenal gland functioning as well. Okay. So this is about the pancreas. Also, let's discuss about the condition of diabetes mellitus. It is because of the excess glucose in the body. When the excess glucose level is when the glucose level is untreated and uncontrolled. There are two type of diabetes: diabetes type 1 and diabetes type 2. All right, these are the blood sugar ranges. If you see, my blood in a normal healthy person should have around 70 to 100 mg per dl. When it exceeds, means the person is pre-diabetic, and comes to the range of 125, it means the person is diabetic now. Means in a normal condition, my body is not able to convert that glucose into glycogen. So I am suffering from diabetes. Okay. Okay. In diabetes type 1, what happens that my pancreas is not making enough insulin. It means my pancreas has a problem now. And I need to now focus on my diet and my regulation of the glucose. And now I have to take external insulin in the form of vaccination, in the form of injections, right? Uh, because my body, whatever I do, my body is not able to produce insulin, and I am very much dependent on the external insulin. It's not linked with the lifestyle, and usually this type of diabetes are you may find this type of diabetes in children, or the people with a very early age or very young age. That's the diabetes type 1. All right, so they have to take the insulin like forever in their life. And how it can be controlled by eating food that do not cause large spikes in the blood sugar and exercising. Now, if you need to lower the extra glucose, you need to utilize that glucose. And one way to utilize the glucose is by increasing the level of respiration. And how the level of respiration will increase? If my body will need more energy. And in which conditions my body will need more energy? When I'm exercising, when I'm doing the workout. All right. So this is the type 1 and it's cure. Now another type is known as type 2. It means my body cells are not longer responding towards it. Insulin is being produced properly. Okay? But my cells are not responding towards the insulin. My cells are not recognizing the insulin. Then how is going to uptake it? As we discussed in our previous slide, that there are the two functions of insulin. One of the function is to uptake the glucose by the help of insulin. Insulin allows the glucose to enter the cell, but my cell is not responding towards the insulin. Then it cannot recognize it. So how will they take up the glucose? So, and what happened in this condition? Now I can control this by my food, right? And I would be needing the insulin injections when the condition is severe. And this kind of diabetes occurs to the older people. It can be controlled by my lifestyle. It's not I'm using the insulin injections for forever. It is used in severe conditions, right? It can be due to poor lifestyle or genetic, like you have a habit of eating sugary food, and or you are not very you are not very uh, active, not exercising, not playing, not doing workouts. So you may later on have a problem with this diabetes type 2. What are the symptoms of it? Glucose. Acha, how would you know that the person is suffering from diabetes? You will detect it in a urine. Glucose is something which should not come in your urine, right? A normal healthy person will never release the glucose in urine, and if it persistently coming into the urine, it mean the person may be suffering from the diabetes and it needs the diagnosis. All right. And if the glucose is present in the urine, how would you detect it? You will detect by the biochemical test known as Benedict test, right? In the Benedict test, if the glucose present, you know that it has that transformation of the colors from blue to yellow, blue to green, green to yellow, yellow to orange, and then red, right? Okay. Constant thirst, frequent urination. My body needs to get rid of that excess glucose by because the cells are not taking it. So I will feel thirsty because my body concentration of water is also being affected. Solute is increasing, water solvent is decreasing now, so my body needs to remove it. That's why I'm feeling thirsty. Frequent urination, increased hunger, because the cells want the glucose. It needs the uh, uh, fuel to produce the energy, and cell doesn't know what's happening outside. Unintended either weight loss or weight gain, fatigue, blood vision. We have studied the cataracts. One of the reason of the cataract is when the person suffering from the diabetes, it affects your vision as well. Slow healing of the sores means slow healing of the wounds. It affects everything in my body. So diabetes is not like it can be treated quickly. It affects the every part of my body, every function of my body. And frequent infections, how can I treat them? By intake of reduced amount of carbohydrate, regularly exercising, and taking insulin, monitoring the blood glucose biosensors, and taking good amount of fibers and protein. It can help in treatment of the diabetes. This is about the diabetes.